What's up, guys? Come take a walk with me, and we're going to talk some markets today. Not just crypto, but everything. We have some pretty spicy setups going on. Unfortunately, not quite for the assets that I would like. So, we're going to jump into what's happening this week, what we're looking for in the days ahead, and we're going to celebrate being the #1 clickbait thumbnail channel in existence. Guys, I hope you like that. I whipped that up myself. So, let's jump into it. Boom. Looking at the news, we got some stuff going on. As it's no surprise to anyone, Bitcoin has sold off down around the 40K mark, holding on to the lows from just weeks ago at 40.15. And the question on everyone's mind is, why is Bitcoin dumping? When is it going to stop? We did answer this in a few streams, but we might as well go over it again real quick. Talk about these little factors that might be pushing the market down. And I think I should have pulled it up, but maybe the quantity left of doomish. Something I do want to do, we're going to do this last. I thought this might be fun for the stream because we don't really interact with the news that much. I think what we should do at the end of like my little spiel here is go to legendary trader Peter Brandt's Bitcoin best store of value kind of article and have an idea of maybe we can critique when we get these articles of analysts and I'll give my opinion on what I think about what they say. Unfortunately, Bitcoin isn't really, or crypto isn't really in the headlight today, which is unfortunate. What we're seeing is some pretty interesting stuff. Stocks in the US soaring to new all-time highs. It makes you wonder whatever happened to the correlation boys. People saying Bitcoin can't move without stocks, whatever. Doesn't seem to be that way now as they continue to hit all-time highs while Bitcoin still bleeding. No correlation there. There is some reasons, I would say, to be bullish on stocks other than them being at all-time high. I got to pull these up. I had a whole bunch pulled up. I had to restart the computer. Here we go. Looking at one of my favorite metrics, Truflation. I guess that's not the Truflation. Son of a B. Here we go. Just this image. This is what I'm looking for. Right here. Truflation. We talked about it a little bit, but we have a better index, in my opinion, of inflation in the United States. We can see here, this is, I believe, the lowest reading in an incredibly long time, many years. This was up as high as 6% last year in January, a year ago, down to 1.85. What does this mean? Well, it's pretty interesting. I have like two kind of thoughts on this. One, this is below the 2% goal set out by the Fed. While the Fed has their own metric and doesn't go by Truflation, I guarantee that they have their eyes on these numbers. They're not unaware of them. They don't dismiss them. It's just maybe doesn't fit their narrative the way that this is calculated. I think this one's more true. However, something to remind you guys of is inflation is cumulative. So to see 1.85% inflation doesn't mean that prices have come down at all. It just means that they've stopped accelerating so fast. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get really a reprieve from prices continuing to soar. But at least it's slowing down, right? This is good news because this is going to be positive economic data for the Fed. And this is why, in my opinion, we're seeing stocks run to all-time highs. Inflation is down. It's basically where the Fed wants it, at least according to different metrics. And traders are beginning to bank on these interest rate cuts into this year. Last week, I believe it was about an 80% probability on probability markets that we would see rate cuts this year. I think in the first two quarters, I believe that's down to 50-50, but we don't really need those estimates. We can just look at the stocks charts and see, hey man, these are at all-time highs. Traders are bullish. They're bullish for a reason. It is interesting that Bitcoin has not followed. Let me pull this. Man, restarting the computer really goofed this up, didn't it? I might not be able to find this image. It's okay. Hold up. Let's cut this out in post. No, we won't. All right. Well, I am not going to find it right now because we're just chilling. But GBTC, this was the reason that we have been talking about. Let's pull this up. This is the reason we've been talking about this downside price action coupled with miners selling. We have seen miners send more coins to exchange than they were previously. And we can kind of infer that maybe this is from Ordinals, not directly Ordinals' fault, but Ordinals bringing up the transaction fees on each mined block, increasing the revenue generated by miners, and they're looking to take some profit. That combined with GBTC's issue, the issue being its fees are too high, and what we're seeing is a flight out of GBTC. After the ETFs were approved, virtually every other ETF has less than 0.5% of the management fees. And so capital that's been stuck in GBTC for maybe even a decade looking to escape here. And unfortunately, that has a pretty interesting market dynamic. As GBTC sells off, it puts downside pressure on the market. Those coins that are sold or being moved are bought back up because we are seeing a net total inflow of funds from the ETFs. So they are being bought, but they're being bought up off exchange. So what we have is a one-sided kind of selling pressure. The good news is when this is finally at equilibrium, or when the selling stops, we're likely to see a reverse effect with price moving up, but there's not a great way to determine when that will be. We can look at GBTC's total holdings and say, all right, well, we've done about 10,000 a day for each traditional trading day. I believe they hold roughly 55,000, maybe Bitcoin. So that would net us 55 days of this at 10,000 a day. I think that that's probably a little hopium in the sense of it being such a defined answer. Another scenario that could pop up, which I believe is going to happen before that. So here's a little hopium for you guys. GBTC is very likely to rethink its fees. I don't really know how that would work with the SEC, if they have to like refile or what, but it seems at this point almost head in the sand stupid for GBTC to keep their fees up here. 1.5%, we can look at iShares or ARK or whatever, they're down at 0.25%. It's not even in competition at this point. It's a one-way floodgate, and we continue to see that sell off as GBTC has sent 10,000-ish Bitcoin, I think, almost every day since the ETFs opened. I don't think that necessarily those are being market sold. That'll give you a little happiness maybe, but we can watch their inflows, but it's a little murky because as the custodian for all these ETFs, Coinbase is going to be seeing a lot of really big transfers in and out. In the past, we've said, oh no, someone's sending thousands of Bitcoin to Coinbase, they're looking to sell it. And that was, for the most part, true in the past. Now it's not going to be as black and white. Coins may be moved around, they may be sent to Coinbase and not actually ever even touch the exchange, just acting as the custodian, holding assets, etc. Man, I got off track. I got off track because of these stupid images. Stupid images won't load. Screw the macro. I want to see what Peter Brandt has to say. I didn't read this. I'm hoping there's a chart. Nope, there's no chart, so we're just going to skip it. On the Hopium news as well, on the Hopium front, here you are. Bottoms in, boys. Bottoms in. According to Jim Cramer, it is unlikely that Bitcoin finds its footing. This was today. I took this screenshot. This is a real tweet from today. Jim Cramer has been historically a great inverse trader. He did have that one call, I guess, a few days ago, and Bitcoin did go down. But I'm gonna take this as bullish. I'm gonna take that and put that in my Hopium pocket. You know, let's just move on. Been looking at the chart a little differently here. I want to share it with you guys. On the last stream, we did notice that at 220 UTC every day, we are seeing a large volume candle on Coinbase kind of come out of nowhere with no mirroring price action or volatility. I haven't figured out why this is happening yet. We have been speculating in the Discord. You guys should join along in there. It's free to join. You should jump in and join the conversation. But I don't know. Do you guys have any ideas? What is going on? We could say it's some kind of settlement, but even then, wouldn't we expect price to move more? It's a little weird. So keep your eyes peeled today at 20 UTC. And of course, that's about 2-3 hours from now. Let's see. Yeah. 2 hours and 10 minutes from now. We're going to be looking for that high volume candle. They haven't really been coupled with moves, as I said, but it's just interesting. So I was flipping through charts last night. Let me show you. I was looking at the week and the day, and there's just not a lot to go on, especially the week with this string of green candles. There's just not a lot here. The eye is naturally attracted to December's low at 40.1, 40.2, and that's what we were looking at basically in the last stream. We'll go over last stream's TA then too. But at the moment, just hanging out. Last week's close looking very ugly. Do not like this candle. Very high, a very tall high wick, coupled with a pretty deep low wick, and then settling up the week for a net loss. It isn't the worst thing to happen, but that's not a sign of strength that I'm looking for. Basically, in this week, my range is going to be 40.2, last week's low, break that, and pray you just see a liquidity sweep and move back up. That's what I'm hoping for. Or potentially don't break that low, come back up and settle this week above 41.7, last week's open. This could be then a pretty solid reversal setup on the week, this little doji. If we can close a strong green candle this week, maybe things aren't looking quite as bad as they were. And that would likely lead to a move up to the 43 area. But the weekly isn't really the time frame I wanted to show you guys. Let's start on the 2-day. So we have some interesting order blocks. I've just been messing around with the sideways price action. Sometimes you get desperate with charts. I've been messing around with just different time frames, trying to find anything. Because as I said, the weekly is not showing us much. Really, it's just showing us weakness. But I wanted to find something else because we don't have enough. We don't have like an edge here, and we still might not, but I figured this will be interesting for you guys. So on the 2-day chart, we're going to look through some weird time frames. On the 2-day chart, which wraps up in 6 hours for this candle, the 2-day, we are painting another order block. This is not the best at all. To close today below 41.3, 41,290, we're going to be cementing that order block into the chart. And basically, if that happens, downside is probably coming. Likely to see a retest of 41.3-ish, even if we do close down here. But this is not really what I want to see. And in fact, if you invert the chart, this is probably more what I want to see. This is probably more bullish. Hitting resistance, pulling back, moving to higher highs, holding previous support, moving higher, etc. So that is not great. But these are price values to look at, and hopefully we can find some kind of edge with them. Looking right here, and you can even see this comes off the back. I didn't see this until right now. Comes off the back of another order block. This one isn't perfect, but pretty close. You can still see this red, green, red, Christmas candy cane, Christmas colors. I don't know. Right around here, and basically what we're doing is building a bunch of resistance here. That's not what I want to see for the upside at the moment. But I found this interesting because the other time frames really just don't have anything for us. If we go to, let's see, the 3 days. So this one is fresh. I wasn't really going to bring it up because this one's fresh. But you can see a very similar pattern potentially forming on the 3-day. I think it's the 4 that got some spice. Here we are. This is what I don't like, and I wanted to kind of put in front of you guys today for your consideration. We see that 2-day painting today, that order block that we just looked at. We look at the 4-day, you see something again very similar. You have another order block on the 4-day right up here. This seems to kind of be unfolding throughout these time frames, with resistance being built above us. With a weak close on the 2-day, I think we probably trend to the downside more, right? Probably trend to the downside. These are kind of interesting candles. I don't know. There's just not a lot else. There's really very little change. Over the weekend, we did virtually nothing, or we can even say nothing, trading a 0.1% day followed by a negative 0.27% day. It does look like Monday has whipped up volatility again, but volatility actually remains relatively low at the moment. The BVol index is at like 2.3, which is relatively low. For example, earlier in January, it was all the way up in the 6s. Like I think mid 6. So volatility has definitely come down. That's no surprise for anybody who was chilling over the weekend, but it seems to have popped back up here. And this is again, like looking at the 1-day, I keep seeing the same thing. Remember, these lines are not from the 1-day chart. They're from the 2 and 4-day. They're not telling a great story. We see that 4-day order block paint out here, pushes price lower. On Friday, price came back up to roughly exactly where we had support previously and has now rejected again. Not a good setup. Not a good setup on these time frames. Something you should keep in mind as well, in Bitcoin, at least in my experience, some of the craziest rallies have come from what look like the worst candle chart setups. So Nothing guarantees that, we're nuked, it's over, I don't know. But this is not what we want to see to continue moving to the upside. Support broken, tested as resistance, back down. So that brings me to the whole long-winded conclusion of all of this, which is today, today and into this week, provided we don't see some kind of nice pump, all eyes basically set on 40.2 and 41 down here. My prayer, as I said a little bit ago, is that we just see a liquidity sweep, come back up, and maybe we can start painting like a broadening, descending wedge, something like that with retests of 43. That will likely, over time, build us enough momentum to move back to that 46-ish area. I'm still looking there. I still would be very hard-pressed to think the chart will really go to new lows without at least coming up and running some of these stops first. I think this flat top, or not flat top, this broadening wedge pattern, likely the precursor to that, and that might mean a little sweep of our lows here, which is interesting because we haven't seen this price action. Lows have not really been swept since we retook the 200 weekly moving average. Bitcoin has had a much different vibe to it. It's been a lot stronger. It has had less pullbacks, less severe pullbacks. So, and seemed to just have kind of a more bullish vibe to it. That started in mid-October, and just now, kind of seemingly losing momentum. The week is fresh. I need to see this week. I need to see this week above 42.7. 42.7, 43.1 would be ideal, but like, we got to get back up. We got to close this week green. Closing this week red, especially if we do breach that low, is a very, very not great looking thing. Kind of reminder to everybody, I closed all my longs at 48. Some FOMO back and forth here, open and close, but I haven't had real trades open in a while. Remember, no trade is often the right trade. You do not have to be in a trade 24/7. Just because I usually have them up does not mean that is the optimal thing. Remember, guys, I trade on YouTube. I do it for content. So sometimes I'll have positions open just to have something to talk about. I don't want people to think that that means they have to or should always have money on, especially on leverage all the time. I kind of think that no move is the move here. If you're looking for a long, I think the obvious spot down there at 40.1 or just below, looking for just to kind of catch that sweep, to catch that potential wick to play higher. I don't know how I feel about that play. You're going to have a good risk to reward setup. You're going to have to mark out your levels, have a plan no matter what you do here. And outside of that, I think it's kind of a let's see where the knife falls game. The bottom could very well be in. And if we consult with Mr. Jim Cramer, then it probably is. But we definitely could continue down. And I think the game here, and at least for the short term, is going to be an opportunity for those stacking spot on Bitcoin. If you are doing this, if you're DCAing or stacking in some other way, this may be a great setup for you. Not only do we have lower prices and drawdowns from the highs, but we've had them for an extended period. We've had multiple days and coming up on multiple weeks, maybe in red. I think this is an opportunity for the DCAers. I don't know, man. Let me go down to these low time frames. What is really happening? So that resistance looking ugly here. I don't like this kind of momentum change. Didn't even really make it back to the highs there before coming back down. We're going to need to consult with our low time frames. I was kind of thinking we were going to break this before we went live this morning, but it does seem as if maybe that the selling pressure has eased momentarily. I have no indicators on here. One sec. While I'm doing this, setting up this chart really quick, it'll take me 5 seconds. In the video description and in the live chat, shout out to our sponsors, Lux Algo, the #1 indicator company in the world, in my opinion, and FEMX, my #1 trusted exchange. Sign up using my links, guys, that help support the stream. That's about it. They're also great tools. I throw price action concepts up on here. And I'm gonna, let's get a little market cipher B. Let's get a little B here. I need my market cipher B. Maybe MACD as well. Let's go balls out. Throw them all on. Cool. We got our oscillators up. Okay. All right, got our oscillators up and things are actually looking not as bad as I zoom in. I kind of like what's going on here. We are on the 5-minute time frame, guys. I'm going to start from here. I'm going to work my way up. Typically, you guys see I will start from days or weeks, months, and then work my way down. This is the standard, in my opinion, for every trader. If you are trying to be a serious trader, I believe every single day you should start by looking at our larger time frames, weekly, monthly, whatever, and zooming in, getting that bigger picture, and then looking for more detail on the lower time frames. And so we're just going to do it backwards today because I feel like it. 5-minute here, I like what I'm seeing. It is bearish. It has not really flipped bullish, but has given us some signs that it's looking to. These lows in money flow are coming up very evenly. I don't know if I've ever seen something kind of this even on money flow. At the moment, it did reject again with a lower high, so we do have kind of that bearish momentum still in play here, but it is giving us a hint or a clue that it's going to look to actually push into that positive money flow at some point. RSI, you're building RSI divergence on very low time frames, same with MACD, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that that's really going to do much. Not convinced that's going to play out. Let's go to 10-minute. How you doing, 10-minute? There we go. I think it's a little more clear here on the 10-minute. We were talking about 5 still leaning bearish, but the 10 here giving us the rollover signal as well. And I always feel more confident when a higher time frame confirms a lower time frame. Here we have a lower or a higher low. Money flow is moving to the 0 line. Now VWAP's not quite set up yet, so I don't think the 10-minute is saying this is happening in this hour, but it likely saying look ahead into maybe the end of the day, something like that. And we'll likely see this roll over. 15-minute, not quite there yet, but really similar. You'd be surprised how unsimilar these are at times. You'd think, oh, of course they look the same. A lot of time they don't. But the 15-minute, you can see it getting there, coming on down. Here is our high, or our low, high, whatever. Now we're looking for a breakup to get that signal into the 15. So not the best right now. Let's hope there's something nicer. 30-minute disagrees with all of that. Hitting a lower low here. Momentum is rolling up, but that's not enough. This is kind of ugly. Actually, here's a really good, this looks a lot like what we just looked like on the 10-minute right here, this move. What happened when price did that? Not much. That's weird. Almost nothing happened. That's very strange. Let's go to the hour. Got too much on these charts now for me. There we go. Hourly, also garbage, so I'm not liking it. The lower time frames might be showing us a reversal, but based on 30-minute and hourly right now, I'm thinking that reversal is likely very temporary or short-lived. The hour here is just dumping momentum. Lower lows, nothing is really coming in, not really bringing it up. And without the confirmations or the stronger signals on the lower times, I'm not really digging this. This does not look great for today. Does not look great. Really nothing on the 2. 4. Slowly rolling over maybe. Not great looks. Something tells me that we might be sweeping those lows at some point this week. Struggling to find bids here on the corn. 41.3. Where did that come from? Right here. 41.3 today I think is achievable. Price currently at 40.6. That's not a huge move. Ooh, that's not a huge move, but that would be a nice close. If the daily could close above 41.3, that would be really nice. That'd be a sweet bottom wick. But I don't think that's what's going on. I would love for it to happen. It does look likely, just in my opinion, that we'll see some kind of move up to 41.3 today. I can't tell. I don't know if it will be before it move lower, or at least a test of the lows. This does not look great, man. It doesn't look great today. I'm talking about really low time frames though. So when I say it doesn't look great, it's not catastrophic. It's just I don't have the I'm not getting the bullish vibes that I typically get. I love my bullish vibes, man. I love them. All right. Is anything moving? Actually, I pulled up CoinGecko. I was looking at the top 100, top 200, and earlier today, there it is. Looks like this has changed a little bit, but at the moment, out of the top 100 coins in crypto, only one of them is green in the last 24 hours, and that is SC, Siacoin. That's a coin that I remember from maybe like 2018, but I haven't heard anyone talk about. I couldn't tell you why it's green today. Maybe it's just that oversold. Maybe there's some kind of news. Doesn't look like it. Don't know. Does anybody here have this coin? I know I have some somewhere, but it's just an irrelevant amount. Does anybody have this? Or is anyone interested in looking at that today? Let me know. Nothing else in the top 100 is green. Even stable coins, you can see here, Tether and USDC both down from $1, not really meaningfully, but even stable coins red in the last 24 hours. That's why I named this stream Bloody Monday, because it's pretty bloody right now. It's not the spookiest price action we've ever seen. It's not anything I'm worried about. It's just a red day, at least so far. I do want to pull up our macros. I want to look at the dollar, see what the dollar's doing. I want to look at the S&P 500 quickly. Nice. Wait, is the dollar not trading right now? Why is the dollar not trading? This is a shitty chart. This one, I guess. There we go. Dollar's trading. I was going to say. It looks like Friday settled up a not so hot candle here. We see lower highs with top wicks on our daily candles for the dollar. And that is, without doing tons of TA, a pretty decent suggestion of 102.6. Let's see. It's all right. You're building some very ugly. Wow, I remember talking about this a few days ago. Potential here. The dollar painting some really ugly daily bearish divergence. We see a lower high here. RSI making a much higher high. This is a pretty exaggerated divergence there. That is not great. That's not great, but I think 102.6 is likely to provide some kind of support. I know I doodled this before, but I'm gonna doodle it again. Something that could happen here with the dollar. I guess it would have to come here, something like that. It looks like it wants to paint an inverse head and shoulders. It's not confirmed. It's not there. I don't want it to happen, but it does kind of look like it here. This V-shaped bottom or top, because the chart's upside down, with a precursor or a left shoulder kind of built into it to move back even as low as 101.6. We still could see this pattern play out. I'm not liking it. If this does, what it could suggest though is maybe into the end of January, start of February, we see some weakness, and then that reverses maybe like Q2, something like that of this year. It's kind of interesting though, because the dollar has not moved much. Yet, it seems like many other things are responding as if it has. I don't know about gold yet. Gold and Bitcoin seem to not know what's going on. They're clueless recently, it seems. Gold not showing any strength here, of any kind. So I think what we said at the beginning of the stream is likely gonna ring true here, that these markets are being driven up by speculation of the Fed cutting prematurely or sooner based on economic data coming in. Hopefully they find that data at some point. I know CPE came in lower than expected. Can't remember the number off the top of my head. We likely have some more stuff coming out. We have Chirpow on the 31st. You better tune in for it. You better. Because what he says is likely going to have a decent impact on markets in general. I kind of forgot what I was just looking for. It's okay. It's Monday morning, bros. Just one of those mornings. My power went out like the night before last night in this freezing weather. I'm done with this weather, man. I want to move to Florida. Me and Jason Casper are moving to Florida. He might. I'd like to. I don't want to be cold anymore. Stock's still at all-time high, opening with a gap here on the S&P 500. Not a super brilliant candle. Not quite what I would have expected either. You know what they say? When stocks are at all-time high, you don't short them. That's what they say. I don't trade stocks really, so. But that's what they say. I don't know, man. Value? What? Why am I struggling? Last price label. There we go. That's not too bad, though. Opened with a gap, maybe coming on down to fill that gap, 48.4, 48.5, something like that. That's actually not nearly as bad as I expected. Thought this would look much uglier. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be much of a correlation anymore. Dollar is showing some signs of retracement, but stocks really just doing their own thing here, not moving based off of the strength or weakness of the dollar. Ain't that just markets, baby? Ain't that markets? Oh yeah, I know what I was doing. I was gonna pull up this. Let's see. I want to see the economic calendar. What numbers, what dates do we have this week? We're gonna look at the US. 3 stars. Let's go to this week. This week. S&P, U.S. manufacturing PMI on Wednesday. S&P global services, crude oil. Crude oil actually has been a big contender as well in, I believe, what's going on here. Conflict in the East, sending some kind of uncertainty and instability to oil, crude prices. I think we saw them rise. Forecast, previous actual. But crude oil, I guess we'll find out tomorrow, Wednesday. Something like that. GDP, this is going to be a big one on Thursday, along with initial jobless claims. Those are both numbers the Fed will be definitely reviewing before the 31st. And on Friday, core PCE price index year over year and month over month. So I would say Wednesday, probably not a huge thing. Thursday, that's some pretty big numbers. Friday, likely see where this week will bring us on Friday. Likely going to see the real move, in my opinion. Bitcoin, you're not going to move on live, are you? It's okay. You're ready, baby. Ready. What's up, Remington Peralt? Get rich or wrecked. Well, please don't get wrecked, guys. Get rich over time. Get rich slowly over time. It's not get wrecked. That's not, but it's good to see you, man. Thanks for renewing the broship. Those memberships are so funny to me. Damn. All right, let's just go to the chat at this point. I'm so discombobulated now. Let's go to the chat. What are you guys feeling? What is happening in your mind? Is Bitcoin going lower today? Is it doing nothing today? Is it waiting for us to end the live stream today? Probably. Let me see. We got 230 likes. A modest but humble 650 viewers. I like it. If you guys could get those likes up, put a message in the chat, get the engagement flowing. Maybe we can get some more eyes on the stream. Tonzi Norman, Austin, way better, dude. I need Dallas Fort Worth. I need heat in my life, dude. I'm so cold all the time. Congrats on being a member. What's up, Foxy? What's up, Dave? How do you guys like the thumbnail? Isn't it a great thumbnail? I made it myself. That picture is of me, but it doesn't look like me. I don't know how that happened. Doesn't look like me. Florida people are crazy. Well, we're all crazy and weird, so we'll fit right in. What's up, Cryptomy FXS? I don't know what that is. What's my skincare routine? Being pale. Being pale, man. You want to know for real? This is what I just put Vaseline on my face. I do this at night. There you go. There's my skincare. Thoughts about Steve's 5-3 theory? I don't know what it is, Dave Cop. Don't know. Badass thumbnail? Maybe badass. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. What's up, S. Chu Han? Reflex is looking for Bitcoin to 33,333. Exactly. What a call, man. What a call. Right over here. All the way down here. That could happen. That could happen. I don't know why you'd stop at all threes, though. Why not? If you're going that far, why not take out this little wick low here at 33 flat? And then if you're going to take that out, why not go a little lower? Why not go a little lower? A little more lower. Just keep going lower. I don't know. Nobody knows. I honestly think there's a decent chance we just see that liquidity sweep. Then we see a retracement. Then we move more sideways. And like maybe like next month we pick it up, right? We have been seeing big moves kind of right out of the gate as the monthlies roll over. November, December, January. They've been some big moves. December, most of the move was loaded into the first few days. January, I think we can say the same kind of, though we had a second attempt as the ETF came out. November, not much. I guess maybe it's just like December then. December and January. So maybe February will follow suit. Link chart looking decent. Alts aren't looking too bad in general. I mean, they're hurting. They're hurting, but I'm very skeptical of dominance here. I don't really think dominance is going to move to a new high this week. I don't even think this month. Let's look at the month. Ooh, the oil people came, and I guess my heat just like went into turbo drive because it got hot again. Maybe it's a treadmill. Winder. Dominance hitting a lower high so far this month and a lower low after reaching to 55. Showing some weakness here. Definitely a chance of revival, but as dominance comes down, we do tend to see alts thrive. Let's see today. And that would not be today, apparently. With this tiny green candle, we are seeing alts give up some of their gains versus Bitcoin. Look at this, is just the weirdest. Like, what is this shit? What pattern is this? Like, I know people want to be like, it's a head and shoulders. I know they want to, but like this is not head and shoulders. I don't know what that is. It could be some kind of like expanding. Your highs are coming up, your lows are coming up. Maybe we could see a diamond play out here, reversal. But alts not doing so hot. Everything across the board down. I guess it's not even just alts. Bitcoin as well, right? Bitcoin as well. What is SC? We're gonna look at SC. I don't know why. It's just odd to me that SC is moving up. SCBTC is an old chart. Yeah, what the hell? What in the hell? What is this? What's happening? What's happening? Does anybody know? Is there like news? Is there anything around this at all? Ooh, Zabby. My person. Zabby. Arita. Thanks for subscribing, my friend. Welcome. Surprised if that's the first one. It's not a super hype day. It's not a super hype day. That's why we use the silly thumbnail. Tell Grayscale to stop selling. Yeah, well, it's not Grayscale. That's the thing. People really want to latch on to these like kind of bad guy narratives. It's not really Grayscale. It's the participants in Grayscale. The people that own GBTC are the ones selling, not Grayscale. Grayscale as a company isn't selling their assets for them. They are. What the hell what is going on with this coin? Why is this thing up? Like, why is this up and holding highs, hitting like a new yearly high just in maybe an hour or two ago? Why is it doing this? Does anybody know? Does anyone know anything about this? I know nothing about this coin other than its SC. Cryptlist says, please use stop losses. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can one up that. Practice safe risk management. If you don't know what risk management is or safe risk management, don't trade yet. Go learn about that. Google it, YouTube it. Practice safe risk management, guys. Absolutely. Remember that spot trading is cool. I think it's cool. Most of my trades have been spot in my career. I recommend it. I recommend spot. SCI performs 300 MS transactions. That's more than I know about it, Todd. I don't think that that's going to be related to this. There has to be something. There has to be something going on. Stop selling paper hands. That's right, Jamie. Stop selling. Stop it. Just stop selling, man. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Just buy. Only buy. Yes, you're up here at monthly. You know, this is not a chart I'm super interested in. I really just want to know why is it moving up? The entire rest of the crypto market not moving up. This is. I don't think that there's anything exceptional behind it. I don't think it's the next big thing or something. Maybe there's some kind of news. I don't know, some kind of burn. I have no idea. Not a clue. Maybe they announced an upgrade and people are speculating. I don't know. You are at resistance, basically a little bit above it, 12 cents there. Probably where I'd look for an entry more than right now at 13 cents. 10 cents though. This order block here is juicy. You got a 10 to 12 cent order block or area of previous resistance, support, SR flip, whatever you want to call it. Moving back into this box, it might provide you a decent entry. If you're already in a position, maybe you're looking to take profit at 2.3 cents right up here at your November 21 high. What is going on with this, man? SC is file storage. Probably. I don't know. You know, I could rant about that. File storage and crypto is just a bad synergy. Not even talking about this coin, just as a concept is a bad concept. Decentralized everything is less efficient. It's less efficient. You trade off decentralization for efficiency. And specifically file storage, because in order for it to be decentralized, that means everyone has to have a copy of everything. The problem is, and this is kind of like where the block wars were a big issue for Bitcoin, block size and stuff, is once that gets to a certain size, it's just no longer feasible for everyone to have it like a copy. It would take up maybe more than their computer has in space. So I've always kind of wondered what that's about. Like, What are you doing there? Is it just kind of like, in crypto, we like to throw crypto and decentralized into everything and just see if it sticks. And I get that. That's a good practice. But not everything should be decentralized. And I am the biggest, like, Bitcoin-y, maxi, decentralized maxi kind of thing out there. I don't need, I don't know, like, I don't need how many eggs I eat in a week on a blockchain, right? There's information that isn't valuable enough to take up space on a blockchain. Or at least there's no point of it. Doesn't mean people won't. I mean, people won't try to find solutions and etc. But like, I just don't get it. Just weird. Crypto panic is showing nothing in the last 7 months. Yeah, what is happening? What is happening here? Can we solve this mystery? What is happening? There is something to be said about, well, this coin got hammered, right? This coin got absolutely obliterated. It did about what we expect alts to do. It went from an all-time high. It retraced 96, 97%, which is actually not as deep as some of the other charts we've looked at. And at this point, you have to ask yourself, this is a market dynamic that people really never talk about anymore. I don't know why. But after a 96 or 97% decline, who is left here? Remember, markets go up not only from people buying, they go up basically from a lack of people selling. At this point, maybe there just really aren't sellers left. They're down 96%. Maybe they all capitulated at the lows. And there are some. It'll never be like absolute like that. But the amount of sellers might just kind of be tapped out. And now it takes very little volume, very little, there's very little cost to push the price up simply because the ceiling is hollow, is empty, right? That could be it. I think there's something to be said there. I don't know, man. They're running out of stuff to sell. I agree with that. That's actually what I was saying. It might just be capitulated. There might just not be sellers. I haven't heard anyone talk about that coin. I do remember, I want to say in 18, but whenever the hell this coin was actually talked about, I do remember people talking about it then. Not a word since. And that would be my honest opinion as maybe, I won't call myself an expert in the field, but an expert on the stream. That's my opinion. There's nothing else. We can't find news. And it is what it is. Old narrative, buzzword salads. Yeah, dude, that's crypto in a nutshell, isn't it? Do TA on ETH? Let's pull up Ethereum. Let's pull up Ethereums. What's up? What's up, peoples? Oh, yeah, we got wrecked. Riggedy wrecked. Riggedy wrecked on Ethereum here. Looking to kind of sneak out a long or two. I don't remember what stream this was from. Did not play out. That's what stop losses are for, though, fam. That's why we got them. RIP. Remember, make a mental note of these losses because I'm getting rid of them so we can see stuff. Ethereum trading at 23.7. 23.70. The lay of the land here. That's not looking great. Ethereum was looking so good. So good when it hit 26.80. It was looking amazing. Unfortunately, it looks like the rest of the market sold off Ethereum as well, closing with a very high tall wick, 2,470. Not nice looking. Lower lows. Where do we look next? We got, looking to the left on the week, we could say, actually, the low it's touched is a logical place to find support. We could say maybe that's a little too aggressive. We can look lower. This is probably a stronger support underneath Ethereum. All the way down to 2222. That's a pretty big range. None of our retracements line up with these very well, except for down here on the week, January 8th's open. That's the 2222 mark. If it continues to sell off, I would look for this value, honestly. I think a scalper or people who degens, I know we have degens, they might be able to play something like this, trying to catch a repeat touch of 2,350 today, likely targeting just under 2,500 for that. That would be my opinion. For the more patient or perhaps the spot trader, I think something like this could be played. Yeah, not too big. There we go. Something like this, 2222 does catch my eye here. Does catch my eye here. That's not a huge move. Really not a big move down. It's like 6-7%. That looks all right on the week. You know, I didn't look at. Does Ethereum have? Ethereum have. Where your cross is at, Ethereum? 200. There we go. It's not bad. Actually, that's not bad. Really similar setup on the week to Bitcoin with our moving averages on the week. Right here, all bundled up. I guess you had... Ethereum actually did its golden cross on the week first. That is interesting. That is interesting. That happened at exactly $2,000. Continued to climb all the way to just under 27 afterwards. But we do see some strong potential support. So we were zoomed in. We were looking at where we might go this week, what we're looking for on the shorter term. Down here, though, losing this whole consolidation level, this would not be the best thing to happen. We do have a pretty big area down here. This is nice. You have all these moving averages. If price does fall, especially if it moves quickly, that could give you a pretty good bounce down there. So for the shorter term trades, I think, yeah, we talked about 23-ish, 22.2. And then if that all fails, look to these big moving averages. They can offer some of the best entries, or at least historically they have. I don't got much else to say about Ethereum. I don't really have much to say about any of these charts. Like, what is happening here? This has got to be some of the lowest volatility, like, from the minute the weekend started. It was only 2 days, but that is insanely low volatility. Like, the range, I don't even think it was 1%, honestly. It was like a fraction of a percent for 2 days. This is not the move that I expected out of that flatness. This flatness usually would suggest to me that you're going to get a breakout move afterwards. This is not a breakout move. This is a slow, kind of huddly looking sell-off. It seems a little shy. It's weird. It seems a little shy. Like it didn't come to 40.2 yet. Punk T chart. Butsonator, I don't even know what that is. I've never heard another human. I did Punk T. Never heard another human say this word. I'm skeptical that it exists. It's on MEXC. Of course it's on MEXC. It has traded for less than 2 months. There's not going to be a lot of TA, bro. Cool. That's not bad. Back to your high. Honestly, I would just look for 7.6 cents. That's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty on deck. Damn. This is moving up too. Another one, green for the day. Its all-time high, as far as I can tell, is 7.6 cents. Probably where you're looking. Real quick. Looking for moon targets. Here you go, bro. There you are. 28 cents. There you are. That's pretty much all the TA I can do on this. We don't have any candles. I'm going to put an alert right here. Just above the previous all-time, or the all-time high. That alert goes off. Take a look at it again. Mosey on back. Here we go. Bitcoin can sense I'm like getting demotivated by what's going on. It's like, did Tom think about ending the stream yet? Because now we're going to move. Let's go. Damn. We just roll into a new hour now. Levels and levels and levels of resistance being painted. I love it. We're about to see a move. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's going to do nothing. Jesus. 28 cents. There you go. There you go. Soul, please, says Justin. Yeah, I'll pull up Soul. I didn't get any alerts on Soul, though, so it's probably not moving, but I'll pull it up. Nothing has changed. It's interesting how many charts actually have the same move where you have a low either painted last week or the week before, and it's holding to just above it. Whenever, if they all break their lows, I think they're all going to do them at the same time. We're likely to see like Bitcoin break 40 and then everything else would come down in that scenario. For Sol, nothing has changed for me. Just working your way on down to that $75 mark to your closest resistance. You didn't build any support. You didn't build any support on the way up here. above 75. This would be a really nice clean touch for a bounce. That looks real ugly. See it there. Multiple tests at the same horizontal, about $85. Your highs are coming down. 75 looks pretty locked and loaded, man. Looks pretty locked and loaded. If we do see all these charts break these lows, like if Bitcoin today moves under 40.1, likely going to be giving us some pretty nice opportunities. Good reminder today, set your limit orders. So not financial advice. Nothing I say is. But if I were looking to trade SOL here, if I wanted to get a position in SOL, it's actually still here. That's how I would do it. This one already hit. Nice. This is how I would do it. I would place a limit order like today at $75. Limit buy spot, $75. And I would wait. If we see Bitcoin break 40, likely you're going to fill on that. It's potentially a really solid fill with a wick, provided that support holds, and look for that bounce. But $75, definitely where I'm looking today. Well, cautiously looking. We've been kind of eyeing that support forever. All right, this is the TA from the last stream. That was pretty fire. I don't think I have the same fire today. We were looking 42.2. Maybe I was wrong. It only hit 42.162 before coming on back down. We had a lot of bullish movement here. And actually, maybe this is a good visual. It is a good visual. So when I talk about liquidity sweep hitting 40.1 or 40.2, this is kind of what we'd be looking for. So you have a pretty visible support built by this reversal. You came to test it, higher low, higher high. You came down and swept it before moving higher. So this is what I'm praying happens. If we see 40.1 break, this is what I want to see. I want to see that same energetic buying action come in. I want to see it push right back up to like 42.2. And I want to see that flat top paint out. And hopefully that'll be it. Hopefully that can be all of it. Man. I threw like a party last night, like an adult friends party. We played board games and drank. So I'm a little rough today. But I'm pushing through. It's 1:30. Started at 12:30. Yeah. I'll pull up Doge. Doge was doing all right. It was looking all right. Ooh, I don't like to see this in the BTC pair right back to whatever the hell resistance we were looking at. I don't love that. What about on the month? Month could look worse. Month could definitely look worse. Doge is just like battling to hold that bearish engulf. Can close above 8.3 cents this month. It actually looks pretty decent. It's a nice wick. Let's see if that reflects on lower time frames. I do not want to see 7.5 cents break on Doge. I don't want to see it come back right here. If I hide these, order block on the week, higher high, came back down. You held basically that same level. Now you're moving back up. Breaking below, I think, sets you up for something gross. You don't want to see these lows come back down. Do not. Being a boring guy. Boring coin. Snooze coin. Allowed. It's waiting for the stream to end. It always does. You know what, fam? Yeah, it's been an hour. There's not a lot going on. We went over some stuff. I don't have much else to really look at. It's at this moment, unfortunately, really a sit and wait and see thing. I think there's plays to be made looking for that liquidity sweep, potentially trying to catch that knife. I think spot's the right play, though. I don't think catching the knife on leverage is really the right play. Spot, remember, is your friend. Limit buy orders are your friend. All of my most successful entries in crypto have been made via limit buy. Go experiment with them. The worst case scenario is you put them too low, they don't fill, and you can just go back and cancel them later. There's no penalty. If you do it on Coinbase, you'll even get whatever percent, like 4 or 5% that they offer on USDC while they're in limit orders. Pro tip. So you can collect, you can beat inflation while you wait for them to order, or for those orders to fill. Man, here's what we're going to do. If we break 40.1 today, like as soon as I end the stream, if it breaks, or in the next few hours. We'll go live again. Same will be true if we get a nice move to the upside. Maybe that breaks 42.2, but at this moment, just no energy. Just nothing going on. Lots of sideways movement. You should join us in Discord. I'll be there today chilling and chatting. Join, links in the video description, along with our sponsors, Lux Algo and Femex. Sign up using my links, guys. They are the best of the best. What's up, Goobler? I missed you, man. Subscribe and love you, brother. Be like Goobler. Subscribe, enable notifications. You don't want to miss it.